Hi, everyone. Thank you guys for joining us for this Q&A session. Unfortunately, due to a last-minute engagement, Grace was not able to join us. So we have Kelly Newman here, who I'll let her introduce herself and explain her role at ICE, and then she will address y'all's questions. So Kelly, if you want to go yourself and explain what you do at ICEV.
Sure. I hate that Southwest couldn't be with us. I'm definitely no Southwest, but I do represent the businesses and orgs who host their industry certifications on our platform. So it's my job to make sure that I know them very well so that I can represent them to state departments of workforce, to education, to help them navigate any state processes, and to make sure that their certification is everything that they want it to be so that they can focus on their company.
Yeah, of course. So we'll go ahead and get started. It looks like the most popular question is asking about the state approval process for this certification, specifically in Texas. So do you, how we work with state education agencies across the country.
Sure. So I know not all of you are from Texas. So just briefly, Texas's application process is every 2 years, whereas a lot of states' application process is every year. It was set to come open during this COVID-19 pandemic, actually. And so it's being postponed because of that. The application process hasn't been opened in over 2 years now. So we're working very closely with Texas Education Agency. As soon as it does open back up, Southwest Airlines has said that they will be applying for approval for this certification. They're feeling good about it now that they've been through the application process once before, and we're just caught on a tripwire technicality that they honestly didn't even feel like was something that they should have been caught on. So they're looking forward to getting this on the state approved list in Texas as soon as the application process opens back up.
Great. So following kind of along the same line, we had a question asking if the certification was available outside of the U.S.
Yeah, the certification is available to anyone. It's currently only in the English language. So if you're comfortable with English, then it's absolutely available to you. Southwest stepped forward and created this certification kind of as like the ultimate soft skills certification. When I was in business school and graduate school, them and Chick-fil-A were always kind of the case studies for customer service. And so that's why Southwest stepped forward and created it. And they are quickly becoming a globally recognized brand. And so if it is a certification that you're seeking outside of the US, you are absolutely welcome to take it. All you have to do is reach out to our customer support team and they will get you hooked up to take that certification. It is $50 for an individual outside of a school setting to take that certification.
Great, thank you, Kelly. So we had a question asking about having Southwest representatives come speak to schools and other entities. So do you want to talk a little bit about the examples that we've seen of Southwest getting involved in their local school districts and communities?
Yeah, especially where there is a Southwest hub, they have recruiters. And they often have recruiters in other places, but especially where there is a hub. So we have definitely seen a few get involved with local schools, and it's been really fun to watch. There's a school in California, San Mateo's adult learning school, something like that. I'm getting the name wrong. And there is a recruiter that goes and hypes those students up before they take the certification every year, and then visits with them afterwards and hands out the paper certificate. And so he's just built a really great relationship with the teachers at San Mateo. I wish I wasn't butchering the school's name. But I think he's a really great example. Anytime that you are interested maybe in having a recruiter come to you, if they can't come directly to your school, if you don't live close enough, maybe they could Zoom in. Maybe we could have someone remotely speak. If not, Southwest Airlines has created congratulatory videos that are available on our YouTube page. One's that's specific to COVID-19 in this situation, another one that's just more of a general congratulatory video. But if you're interested maybe in getting connected to a recruiter and you don't know how, feel free to email Kimberly or myself. Our contact information is under our bio pages, and Kimberly, correct me if I'm wrong on that contact info. It's also on the website. We'll be happy to contact the certification contacts at Southwest and see if we can find a recruiter near you.
Definitely. Kelly, we kind of along that same line, um, we had a question about the skills that Southwest is looking for hiring, and we've had a lot of conversations with Grace as well as other contacts that we work with at Southwest. So do you want to tell us, the viewers, a little bit more about those conversations that we've had with Southwest?
Yeah, I think Grace articulated it really well in her presentation. So if you got to watch the presentation right before this Q&A, Grace said that Southwest is big on hiring for attitude and that they can train you for the technical hard skills that you might need for your job. But part of that hiring for attitude is having some of those soft skills that are harder to train. It is more difficult to train, a grown person who is already in their field to look you in the eye and give you a firm handshake. Whereas it is a little easier to teach them how to master some of those technical skills they might need specifically for that role. And so that is why Southwest created this certification, so that anyone, not just Southwest Airlines, because this certification is not for folks to just go work at Southwest Airlines. So anyone could see that someone who has this certification has proven mastery of those soft skills.
Great. So, what I would like to, this wasn't a question that was Q&A, but this is a question that we get asked a lot.
Sure.
Tell the viewers a little bit more about the development of the industry standards that are assessed in the certification exam. So why did Southwest specifically single out those skill sets to be important for the future workforce?
Sure. And this answer pretty much applies to any of the certifying agencies who host industry certifications on our platform, because we don't work with folks who don't do it this way. But we always make sure that anytime a certifying agency wants to host a cert on our platform, that they are writing those industry standards on behalf of the whole industry. So Southwest is kind of a unique case because this certification isn't applicable to just one industry. This certification spans all industries, because I have never met an employer who doesn't want to hire someone who has mastery of those 21st skills, soft skills, whatever you want to call them. And so whenever a certifying agency is interested in creating an industry certification, they're the ones who develop those industry standards because they're the pros of that. Southwest Airlines is the one known for customer service. I think very highly of ICV's customer support team, but we are not a nationally recognized, globally recognized customer support team like Southwest Airlines. We have some awards, but Southwest Airlines is in literal, business case studies for that. So that's what makes them qualified to step forward. That's what makes them qualified to write those industry standards. And then we partner with them to make sure that any questions written on the actual exam based on those standards are educationally sound. So that's where we come in. They're the customer service, they're the professional communications experts, we're the education folks. So that's how we partner together, and that's how those industry standards get established. And then since the Southwest Way is constantly evolving, kind of like Grace mentioned in her presentation, they update their values, they update the way that they would like to communicate. Southwest reviews the standards, reviews the questions in the exam, and as they need to be updated, as communication practices change, Southwest updates that in the certification as well.
Great. Thank you, Kelly. So I think we have time for one final question.
Okay.
We had a question come in via the chat on the Zoom. What resources are available to educators to get their students prepared for the certification exam?
Yeah, that's probably actually the biggest role that ICEV plays in the partnership of hosting an industry certification for a certifying agency, is after we make sure that actual certification exam is educationally sound and we host it for them. So we have that technological infrastructure to host the assessment for Southwest so that they can focus on getting people safely from A to B in an airplane. What we then do is, since we're a CTE curriculum expert, since we've been in the CTE curriculum business for over 35 years, we go on the back end and we develop preparatory content to make sure an individual has full opportunity to be successful on that certification exam. So if you are using ICEV, you literally can use that as a full curriculum if you would like to use in a class, let's say a professional communications class. You could use that as your full curriculum if you so chose. Or if you simply wanted to use it as something supplemental, let's say maybe you just wanted to use it more like a study guide form, you could also do that. Maybe you just wanted to use it as a final review because you're a great teacher of professional communications, but you want to make sure your students are specifically prepared for those industry standards for the final exam. And their ICEV curriculum is very versatile. So we go on the back end with industry certification. We make sure that there's prep content. So a student, a teacher, especially a newer teacher, has full opportunity to give their students extreme success, all the success in the world, to ace that certification exam.
Great. Well, thank you, Kelly, so much. Thank you all for joining us today. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have. If you guys do have more questions, I have included Kelly and I's email address in the chat. I've also included the CTE challenge code. This code can be entered in the CTE challenges section of the conference platform. Please enter this code by end of day today so that you can earn points for attending this session, as well as receive credit if you plan to use ICEV or the CTE Inspired conference for professional development credit. So please reach out if you guys have any questions, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.